Hi Capricorn, welcome to your reading and happy early birthday. So, I've made a list because there is just so much going on. I don't want to forget anything. But let's start, first of all, with the fact that there will be a solar eclipse in your subconscious. So if you have any secrets, I've been saying this for a few months, but we're here. If they didn't already come out or don't come out at the November 29th, 30th lunar eclipse in Gemini, then they will for sure come out during the solar eclipse, which is on the 14th, I believe. Just checking my notes. Especially when it comes to love, it's really time to take a back seat. You have way too much going on in terms of work to sabotage it right now. You don't also want to be seen as someone who's too available to anyone who would be romantically interested in you. Even if they want to take it further, you keep it platonic right now. And I'll tell you why. Aside from the fact that you have these really kind of deep held secrets coming up. It might be just emotional stuff that you don't want to tell anyone, or, there's something that you're hiding. Aside from that, you have Saturn finally leaving home, which you would think would be bittersweet, but not for Capricorns. You're actually quite ready for Saturn to move into Aquarius, into your house of money, along with Jupiter, which gives you a lot of room now to expand, to receive, and to attract with your words and your actions the people who would like to bring you where you want to be in your career. Just goes up and up and up and keeps going. Mashallah, it's really good. Bottom of the deck, that solar eclipse that I was talking about, it's a big deal because, and also Jupiter moving into Aquarius, it's a big deal because you have that personality where you rarely, if ever, show anyone what's really going on. And the opportunity to do it in a classy way, in a way that actually helps your career, in a way that rights some wrongs that have happened this year that were just unfair, things that were unbearable, things that hurt your pride. And if those people want to come back around to apologize, I think you should be really gracious, accepting apologies. No moving backwards, though, towards them. No matter how much you liked them at one point, no matter how much you wanted it to work. Toxicity is toxicity. Doesn't matter if it's in your love life or in your work life. It all connects together. Toxicity is toxicity, like abundance is abundance. So if you decide to take a few steps backwards in your emotional life, understand that you will drag your career with it. Now, if you're thinking, I don't have a career, haven't you noticed the world is shut down? I don't know what you're going too soon, and you want to be prepared, yeah? So because you know that in about a month from now, your season will be here, because you know that everything is going to move into Aquarius. Well, not everything, but the things that will determine the binds coming off of your career. You may have been feeling for a while now, like things get started, they look really great, and then everything implodes, and I can't figure out if it's me doing something wrong or are people sabotaging me? Like, what is the deal, really? Nothing. You know how Saturn is. Sometimes we want there to be more of a method to its madness, but really it's just here to say, no when it's not time yet. And sometimes that's all the answer you get, and you have to be okay with it. And as it is your ruler, you must understand this. You're the same way, right? Sometimes it's just a no. Sometimes it's just a no. I think you should get really comfortable with this energy. Say no to people who deserve to have you say no to them a long time ago. Maybe even let them know in the nicest, sweetest way that they've completely missed their chance, or that the only reason they had a chance was because you were bored. I don't know. Ace of Wands. The amount of work luck that's coming to you, the amount of new opportunities, if you can't see any right now, the amount of money, inshallah, coming up in 2021. It's ludicrous. But also, we knew this was going to happen. We knew that Saturn was going to kick your ass, and it would make you reinforce your network, which you should be doing all through December. We knew that it would take from you everything you thought you could not live without, isolate you, have you relearn your discipline, your work ethic, show you who your friends are and who aren't, especially those in a position of power that you finally realized, so what? As a person who revels in power, you do have a tendency to get down about it if someone in a position of power doesn't seem to like you. So what? Now in December, you're like, oh my God, you don't like me, but you're still gonna pay me. If you are dealing with a Sagittarius or a Virgo, they really want to talk. They have a lot to say. And although you are fun to talk to, let's get rare. Let's revel in this rarefied air where you find yourself professionally. Let's get really comfortable with the exclusivity that is just a part of who you are. Let's stay there. And let's definitely apply that to these people around you, especially if there was an air sign that really put you through it. I would have you know that they're really feeling it now and wanting very much to either work with you, get together with you, be seen with you, just even talk to you. Now, if you have an air sign friend who really needs you, they're also coming through very strong. Virgos need a lot right now as well. They're not going to say it, but their worlds are kind of melting down. So if you've got some Virgo peeps, checking in on them is a good idea. Again, not at your expense. Let's talk about this for a second. Bottom of the deck, 10 of Pentacles. Let me just go over my notes before I do the read. Okay. So, keep it platonic, pull it back. The thing here that I've written large is that, when you have a solar eclipse in your subconscious, there is this need that appears quite suddenly. You want to deepen your life. You want more spirituality. You want to feel not just that material connection with the world anymore, which is odd because it's been quite enough for you for quite some time. But now it's just not. That's also why it's a good idea to keep it platonic. One, it's really good to keep people at bay because everyone's kind of talking, and not that we care, but some of you are in careers and professions where your reputation is really important. So we don't want anyone out there thinking that they have easy access to you, first of all. But also when you're digging deep like this, a toxic person, you can be very vulnerable to them. So you need to shield yourself from that. A manipulative person, you can be very vulnerable to them because they can, almost smell it. They can sense it that you're looking for more, and they can make themselves the excuse. They're the charity case. Help me, No, help yourself. And then the other thing is that the spirituality is a natural inclination that everyone has, but you don't really delve into that area of life until you feel this deep sense of success and satisfaction. So because you have Jupiter moving into Aquarius, Saturn moving into Aquarius, because you have enormous work opportunities coming up, you do feel like you've reached some sort of comfortable height where now success is assured. It's not a mystery anymore. You're not wondering like, am I going to make it, or is it going to happen for me? You're sitting at the top of the mountain in quite a contemplative place alone and thinking, okay, well, I have made it now. Now what do I want? Because I have spent all my energy and all my mind on reaching this, goal. But now that I'm here, what can I do? And it will naturally occur to you. I mean, obviously the planets are moving in a certain way. You've got that Judgment card. You've got that Hermit card. Your desire now is to find an even higher mountain to ascend to. And once you've reached the pinnacle of material success, that's when you oftentimes will find that people realize that there is a much higher mountain. And this is where the people come in. And you can't mistake helping those who like to play the victim, those who can't help themselves. You can't mistake that for spirituality within yourself, because it's empty. They're vampires. You can't, if you continue to mistake energy vampires as charity work, I know that hurt. You will never find that spiritual kind of completion that you're looking for. It's not going to happen by helping people who refuse to help themselves and insist on staying the victim. We've had this conversation a lot of times, and we don't need to have it again, except that if you once again decide that your road to spirituality is through helping someone who is more than capable of helping themselves and just won't, then instead of ascending to that higher mountain, you're going to climb back down. Oh, I know how painful that is to hear. So then the question naturally arises, what do you do? How do you ascend to that even higher mountaintop? Well, there are a few things you can start doing right away. You can start getting up before the sun. You can meditate. You can pray. You can go to church. You can go to any, house of worship you like. You can create a bit of an altar or an energy center in your house. You can engage in some ritual. As long as it's centered on only you and making you feel satisfied. Because this is the great jarring realization of December for you is, oh my God, I'm getting everything I want. Why on earth is it not enough? And you may feel deeply disconcerted by that, but I'm incredibly joyous. As I've told you many times, my brothers are Capricorns, and they are some of the most spiritual people I know. Now, that can be credited to a religious upbringing and to them being both very strong in character, but it's not just that. It's that the capacity that Capricorn has for spirituality far, far exceeds almost everyone. You know, you have to remember that your avatar at one time was the most beloved, sat at the right hand of God, was God's best friend. The potential you have within to be incredibly aligned and connected is not open to the rest of us. Well, we have other qualities, but it's hilarious to me that most of the time Capricorns don't believe in much until they get to the point that you get to in December, where you're thinking, oh my God, I made it. Wait, I made it? And this dread filters in, like, yeah, but what'd you make? And you'll notice, my father always says this, you'll notice right away when you start to engage in some spiritual practices, whatever they are, you'll notice in Urdu, the word is sukoon, the peace that you feel. It's uncanny. It happens immediately. You start to feel a connection growing. And if this all sounds too hokey for you or too hocus pocus, first of all, you are watching a tarot channel, but I digress. You can just as easily look to what you would consider much more credible sources. For example, the CIA has proved through a bunch of papers that were recently released, declassified, that beyond our realm of light and shadow that we live in, this simulation we call reality, beyond this, there is a much larger reality, a much larger energetic construct that we can access at any time, and that interacts with us all the time. So even if you want to go off of the purely defined, quantifiable, factual evidence, they put a cool $1 billion into investigating all this stuff, and that's what they came up with. So any way you cut it, if you want to be king of the hill, top of the heap, this is the month where you notice that there is a much, much, much taller mountain that is much more challenging to ascend. And yet for you, you'll just skip right up there. And then the peace you will feel will be epic. And if you can spend the next 30 days or so in an almost monastic practice of this, taking care of your friends to a limit, taking care of your family to a point, but taking care of your soul. Make the 14th, make that solar eclipse in your subconscious, make it a thing, make it an event, really put some time aside that night, that day, and do something that marks that for you. Engage in something incredibly spiritual. And because Capricorns are, dividend based, they want to know what the upside is for them. Without hesitation, I can promise you that the upside is that all your success is sweeter and much more gratifying, and you find even better ways to do good with it. Because when your soul is satisfied, calm, at peace, your mind is unmatched. It's only when you are in the hamster wheel of modern, economic slavery, I don't know, that you're just churning away. There's no time for anything else except to win this game. But you won. Now go win the real game. It's funny, right? Because you figure out that this was just practice. And you may be a little bit miffed by that, but I don't know anyone who likes a challenge more than you do. It's one of the funnest things about you, actually, is that you're not at all daunted by what should be daunting. It's inspiring, and it boosts the confidence of everyone around you to watch you tackle things the way you do. And how many people will you be an inspiration for by now taking this turn? How much good you'll be able to do. How much peace you'll be able to bring others after you find it yourself. Very nice. What a beautiful reading. I'm proud. I can't help it. I'm proud. I'm happy. I'm excited for you. But most of all, I gotta say I'm impressed. The way you have taken 2020 and mixed your work ethic with that huge heart you have, and somehow pushed past the pain, pushed past the manipulation, pushed past the rejection, pushed past the sabotage. Good God, the sabotage. To a place of pure, euphoric success. It's, there's so many things that have happened that were outside of your control, that anyone else, it would have just shattered them. And you got close a few times. You were really like, what? Huh? What? I don't get it. Nothing is going how it should be going. And then you found your balance again, as the mountain goat always will. Even on the smallest ledge, you found your balance again and then rocked it. And it's just like, how are you rocking shit in 2020? Like, everybody else like struggling, trying to just get through it. And y'all over here like, oh, by the way, we won again. Have you heard about my new meditation that I'm doing? It's dope. I'm like working on my soul now. That's you guys. And it's it's amazing. It's amazing for anyone who loves you. It's annoying for anyone who wanted to see you fall. And by the way, all those people who got in your way, all those people who tried to sabotage you, karma is really coming for them. The minute you get spiritual, they get their karma. If that's not a reason for you to do it, I don't know what is. Oh my God, I love you. Let's look at these cards. Hi, Capricorn. Welcome to the second part of your reading. I've got a glass of water here. I suggest you get one as well. I'll be drinking water throughout. Okay. So, the first thing I noticed about the first part of the video is that the sound and the picture are a little bit off, which is funny because it looks like a dubbed over like old movie or something. And maybe somehow that's appropriate. We'll find our way there. But apologies, I'm not sure. It's a little bit of a technical glitch. But let's move forward now. Aptly, Knight of Wands is the first card. Moving forward. Whether it's a Sagittarian or it's somebody else, that cup of love that you have extended many, many times should not be extended again. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your potential, and you're holding yourself back. That wouldn't be such a tragedy if this wasn't such a productive and fruitful time where you could stand to do so much, make so much more, become even more successful. It's a mistake to put yourself aside out of pity for somebody else, We've had this conversation a million times before, so you know where I'm going. But I'm beginning to wonder if you see a distinction between pity and love. Do you have to feel sorry for people? Do they have to be a complete mess in their own lives for you to feel something for them? And is that really feeling something for someone? Or is that another way to satisfy your ego? Because this person just can't cut it. I'm going to tell you something that a friend of mine told me once. You are not the only charity in town. It may feed you to help those who refuse to help themselves. But don't for a second think that you're the only charity handing that out. If another charity was to approach them, they would go that way. Their loyalty isn't to you. It's to what you provide. And you can't be mad about it because it's the basis, it's the terms that you set. You've never looked for reciprocation. You just wanted to give, give, give. So, of course, what you're going to come across is someone who wants to take, take, take. That's what the Knight of Wands is so insistently moving away from. You no longer can play this game without risking serious consequences to your own life, lest you become the one that someone pities. Right. I know that hit a nerve. Do you want to become one of those people that you tend to gravitate towards because they've made a pathetic mess of their life? No, exactly. So now it's time to focus solely on work, progress, evolution, and your spiritual growth. Sometime around the middle of the month, you will feel like you are definitely at the top of the heap. You have a lot to say and you're saying it. The more you say, the more opportunities you're getting. The season is pushing you along. Once again, there's that fire sign you're getting away from. Couldn't be more clear. Anyone who is creating a space of, how do we put it for Capricorns? Lack of goodness. There's goodness all around you and there's goodness in you. And then there are pockets that people create where there is no goodness. And you have a tendency to venture into those pockets, either out of curiosity, pity, who really knows? Now those pockets can swallow you whole if you don't smarten up and stop putting other people in front of yourself. You've fell down into that hole, crawled out many times. Sometimes I wonder if you do it just because you like to climb back out. But make no mistake, that's not something you can sustain forever. You'll lose energy and you'll lose the ability if you keep purposefully throwing yourself in there. And again, add to this the irony that those people would never do this for you. No matter how much you think you love these people, no matter how much you've done for them, if you think that they would do the same for you, I mean, you could test it out, but you already know the answer. So, as we coincidentally approach a time in your life when your soul becomes very important to you, the sanctity of your soul becomes important, it is no coincidence then that these dark parts of your life are being illuminated. You're being shown. This is the hole you've fallen over here. This is the hole you've fallen over there. That's, there's that person who pulls you into the cracks. There's that person who pulls you into the shadows. Funnily enough, you don't belong there, but they do. They choose to keep themselves there. You go in as a tourist. a humanitarian, a missionary. But there's only so many times you can do that before it starts to really wear on you. And in the last few months, you've been through it again, where you delved into somebody's world who you knew wasn't worthy. You helped them in every way that you could. And what did they do? They took advantage of you. They used you again. So, for your own sake, say what you need to say. I would say nothing because I don't know. I don't I understand it intellectually the way you guys can be, but I've never been able to understand it emotionally. I just don't have that switch. People feeling sorry for themselves doesn't make me feel sorry for them. People who won't help themselves and refuse to help themselves, people who crave mediocrity and like living there, that's never inspired any sort of pity or compassion in me. I don't care. Hey, if you don't care about your life, I don't care about your life. But you are so attracted to those who seem too broken to help themselves. And once again, in the past few months, you delved into that. And once again, you were taught in the harshest way possible that this is not your job. So, why am I harping on this? Why am I going on and on? Because you cannot do it again. Because unlike the other times, you have much more to lose now. You are becoming a huge success, internally and externally. And this may be perhaps the only quality you have that holds you back. Sometimes I wonder if that's the reason that you do it, because you're afraid of succeeding. And so the easiest way not to succeed is to surround yourself with the mediocre, regardless of the why. The Six of Swords is very clear. No matter how much that fire sign wants to talk, no matter how much the drama queen wants to talk, no matter how much the pathetic want to commiserate, you're out. You're gone. Where have you gone? You've gone inward, where the true riches lie. From here, you have a chance now to reach a level of success and peace of mind that you have never had access to before. The work that is going on now in December, right behind you in Sagittarius and right in front of you in Aquarius, sets you up in the most delicious way for everything that you want. But you've got to let go of needing to drag people there with you. If they belonged there, they'd already be there. So, you focus now on the Hermit energy, which is what? Going internal, cultivating that spiritual side of yourself, really allowing your curiosity to take control. Learn about new faiths if you want. Learn some new meditation techniques. Take up yoga. Run. Whatever gets you into that mind-body flow, do it. Dance. And what you will find is as you get more and more centered on your spiritual life, on the sanctity of your soul, the Ten of Pentacles is there, becomes a given. Now, for some of you, that Hermit is a Virgo that told you all kinds of things about how it was going to be and didn't live up to a single one. Not surprising. Let them go. You can get really, really upset about it and tell them off. It's not going to help. Never seen a Virgo change because somebody told them what was wrong with them. They just don't care. And I think a lot of you are realizing in your personal life that whoever this self-absorbed person was just didn't care. But the good news is the less you react, the less you give into it, the more you move away from it, the more they will feel it on their own. Let them. For once in your life, let people feel the consequences of their actions. It will only help you. And this works perfectly with your astrology, which says that now is the time for you to get deep. Now is the time for you to really start worrying about the internal. How are you supposed to do that when you're micromanaging other people's lives or problems? You can't. Because the unspoken treaty that you create with someone who refuses to help themselves is that you also have that rubbed off on you. Oh no, but I'm never like that. No, but if you surround yourself with people like that, you will become like that. So make yourself, your inner peace, your financial success, your top and only priority. Everything else must either fall by the wayside or be shunned out of your life. It has not brought you anything but pain. So it's just not necessary right now. And those of you who are in happy, loving relationships, your spouse, your partner, your kids will have no problem with you becoming more spiritual. They will be grateful if you leave these toxic people behind that they've probably been telling you forever aren't good for you. So it's not to say that this is going to ensure that you are alone. If anything, it makes it clearer to you who you should be close to. You can finally see through the muck. Okay? Good stuff. All right, we're going to get into the extended right now. We shuffle through for each card, and then we shuffle for some outcome cards for late into December, early into January. If you would like a recorded personal reading sent to your inbox, there is a Cameo link below. If you would like a one-on-one video chat reading that's live, there is a Chatalize link below. Those readings, the one-on-one video chat readings, are every Tuesday. There's 4 slots available a week. They sell out pretty quickly. So if that's something you're interested in, you should click on that and see what's up. If you are interested in these rings, these are the Quietest Revolution rings. Today I am wearing them in silver. This is the High Priestess, and this is the Empress. It's a company I started with my best friend. And the link to the Instagram for the Quietest Revolution rings is below, where you can see RevFam wearing the rings, gorgeous. And there's also a link to purchase. If your size is not available or the metal you would like is not available, hang tight. We have new shipments coming in. It's just everything is delayed because of the state of the world. The Instant Extended link and the Vimeo Extended link lead to the same reading. It's just 2 different platforms where you can purchase it. One is through PayPal, and the other is through Vimeo, where you can use whatever you like. Okay? What else am I forgetting? I'm going to be putting up an Eventbrite link for the Capricorn season satsang. The Sagittarius season satsang is on November 29th, and it is sold out. Capricorn season satsang will be sometime in December, and I will put that link below as well. So you guys have first crack at it. I'm not going to market it anywhere else or post it anywhere else until you have your fair shot at it. All right, all right. It may not sound like it from the lecture I just gave you, but I love you lots. And I want to see you win. That's all it is. Okay, I'll see you in the extended.